Hey friends, it's Lauren from Hot for Food, and we're 1 week away from the release of Vegan Comfort Classics, 101 recipes to feed your face. I hope you've pre-ordered it, and if you haven't, pre-order it now. I've linked to all the retailers below. It's available worldwide, so pick up your copy, and if you do that, make sure you go to hotforfoodblog.com/ebook to claim your free bonus ebook of even more recipes that got cut from the cookbook that we couldn't fit into here, and you're gonna get them anyways, and they'll never be released anywhere else. So make sure you go claim that before the release date of February 27th, 2018. 1 week away, can you believe it? I thought today I would share with you the pantry ingredients you need to be prepped and ready to cook up a storm in your very own kitchen with recipes from my debut cookbook. Truth be told, there is nothing in here out of the ordinary from what I normally use on the YouTube channel. So if you've been cooking with me for a while, you probably have a lot of these things, but I'll take you all the way from badass brunches to sweet things, which is the dessert chapter, and I'll kind of give you the rundown of what I've been using, how I made the recipes, and any other little hot tips. Let's talk vegan bacon. Veggie bacon can be made out of anything, and I got a few recipes in the cookbook. You've probably already made the coconut bacon, maybe the cassava bacon from the blog. I've included those in this book because I think they're staples, and I use them in almost every recipe in the book, at least the savory ones. So for that, you're gonna need to pick up liquid smoke, soy sauce or tamari, and smoked paprika. And those are definite pantry staples. The liquid smoke I don't use a lot of, but I definitely use it to make veggie bacon. You can often find it in the aisle of the grocery store where the barbecue sauce is or where the spices are. And it is available at pretty much every grocery store. I have had a very easy time finding it at almost every store where I live here in Toronto, Canada. Check it out or order it online. Obviously, you know I love tofu. I use it a lot. I talk about it all the time. You're gonna wanna get different textures and firmnesses. I use soft tofu, medium firm, and firm in the book for all different things. Some get blended into sauces, and it's just such a versatile ingredient. I also have like a crispy orange tofu, like orange chicken in the book with a veggie fried rice. It's delicious. So just get on board with tofu. I will link a couple things below where smarter people than me will tell you why tofu and whole soy is like good for you and you don't need to worry about it. Obviously everything in moderation, but I love tofu. I mean, that's just a fact, and I use it, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. I also use vegan butter. Now in the cookbook, you will see vegan butter written in a lot of different recipes. I'm referring to a cold, hard butter that when in the fridge is hard. It's not soft like a margarine. But in a pinch, you can often substitute a vegan-friendly margarine for the vegan butter. The only cases where that might not work the best are in making something flaky like the pie crust for the classic apple pie. And I also do the pie crust for the raspberry funfetti Pop-Tarts, one of my favorite recipes in the book. And in some cases you can substitute coconut oil, but I do find that it's not as flavorful, and I find that it definitely isn't as great for making the flaky pie crust. So if you can find a vegan butter product where you live, there are more and more brands available, then I would definitely start using one of those. Now, due to popular demand, I have included a couple of recipes in the Hot for Food cookbook that use vital wheat gluten. The very popular vegan sausage rolls are in the cookbook. You guys have probably made those before, but I also included a seitan recipe. I call it Saved by Seitan. Get it? So it's a homemade seitan loaf that I have thinly sliced or shaved into like a really thin meat-like substitute. So with that, I've made a Philly cheesesteak. It's so freaking good. And kind of like a gyro wrap, or like a Greek inspired sandwich, or sort of, you know, pita wrapped sandwich. And this is gonna sound weird, but I sort of liken it to like a shaved lamb meat or like a shawarma. And the texture is like spot on. So for this, you do need to be gluten friendly and not gluten intolerant, because vital wheat gluten is used to make seitan, and it's pure gluten. So I don't use gluten in every single recipe in this cookbook, and you can definitely make some modifications, but those would be the recipes where you need to kind of love gluten and seitan. Make sure you check that out and look for vital wheat gluten at your grocery store, in the bakery aisle where all the flours are. You can also order vital wheat gluten online. It's a really inexpensive ingredient. Let's talk spices and getting spicy. You've seen my fantastic spice drawer. That's just right here. Now, you don't need all of the spices, but if you wanna just get the essentials, you're gonna need garlic powder and onion powder, of course, because I use that all of the time, even in conjunction with using sauteed onions and garlic, because double the garlic and onion all the time. And especially in sauces, when you're blending it, they're just a more concentrated flavor. So pick up garlic and onion powder. There's nothing weird or processed about them. It's just dehydrated, dried out, ground up garlic and onion. I think some brands might have like other preservatives in them to keep them shelf stable, but you can definitely find organic brands that are just like pure onion and garlic. You wanna get some regular paprika, cayenne is a good one, turmeric I use, and cumin. And then for the real hot for foodies, you know I like the Old Bay seasoning. Those are used in the crispy crabless cakes. And I think one other recipe in the book that really is not coming to mind right now, but just get that Old Bay seasoning, okay? All about the Old Bay. Ooh, I forgot, cinnamon. There's cinnamon in a lot of the sweet recipes, including the French toast coffee cake. I also put cinnamon in my chocolate chip cookies. I just love cinnamon. A couple of more odd things that you may or may not be able to find where you live, although I hope that you can, because I found them, is vegan puff pastry, which you've seen me use before on the channel. I buy it in the frozen section. It's just vegetable shortening, flour, water, salt, and oil. I put it on top of the chicken pot pie soup. Holla, what? It's not just chicken pot pie, it's chicken pot pie soup, because I made the filling to my liking. I mean, this is my book, so I did what I want, but I made the filling like a little bit thinner and less like goopy and snotty than like a chicken pot pie. So I don't know, I just like it. It's like a soup, and then it's got this crusty puff pastry topping, and it's so delicious. So if you can't find the vegan puff pastry, it's okay. You can still make the soup, and it's delicious, and you can eat it with the flaky buttermilk biscuits. See, customizable. And also wonton wrappers. And these wonton wrappers that I found are just cornstarch, water, and flour. They're vegan friendly. You need to kind of buy them pre-made from sort of an Asian grocery store or something like that, because they get them really, really thin. And although you could make the dough from scratch, it's just hard to get it that thin for a wonton. So I have real wonton soup in the book, and it's so good. The homemade filling with carrot and tofu and shiitake and green onion is so flavorful. And then I made like a gingery garlic cabbage broth. I am addicted to this stuff, and I ate it pretty much through the whole creation of this cookbook. So I really hope you can find wonton wrappers where you live. And speaking of soups, there's a whole chapter called Hearty Soups. It's one of my favorites, actually. It's got lots of classics like a cream of broccoli. I also have a seafood chowder with no seafood, obviously, in it. But something that I do use in almost all the soup recipes is a vegan-friendly chicken-flavored bouillon base. So I use a product called Better Than Bouillon, and they make a vegan chicken flavor as well as a vegan beef flavor. So there's no animal products in this. If you can find something similar, you can also find bouillon cubes that are like chicken flavored but veggie friendly. I definitely recommend those just because the flavors and the herbs that they use in them are highly concentrated, really tasty, and you are getting that essence of like a chicken stock or a beef stock through your vegan soups. And I just like have fallen in love with using them. But you don't have to. You can also use vegetable stock. Those are easy swaps and subs. But if you can find them, or if you can order them online, I've also linked below to a site where I order it. Oh yeah, how about lasagna soup? That one's real tasty. There's a whole chapter in the book called Get Saucy. I love my sauce. You know that. It's what Hot for Food's all about. For that, I have shown you how to make your own homemade vegan mayonnaise if you choose, but you can also buy a vegan mayonnaise product so that you can whip sauces and dips up in a flash, and I do use it throughout the cookbook, so that's definitely something you want to stock up on, or like I said, make from scratch yourself. And then into a lot of those sauces and dips, you're adding acidity. Apple cider vinegar is always in my pantry. Lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce. Again, I don't know how to say that, but I use it and I love it, and it adds a lot of flavor. And of course, that brings me to my most favorite ingredient of all time, nutritional yeast, AKA Nooch. Nooch God in the house. I use nutritional yeast throughout this book in practically every recipe, and I know that's like so cliche and like so vegan, but like, if you're not already on the Nooch train, just get aboard, okay? Nooch, Nooch! So you'll find me using it obviously in the nacho cheese sauce, which I've included in the book for you, and the parm, which is just raw cashews, nutritional yeast, and salt ground up into a really fine crumb so that you can pour it all over your oodles of noodles. I've got eggplant parm and spaghetti, homemade red sauce, homemade rosé sauce, A butternut squash cannelloni. That one uses a lot of the parm. It's in the cannelloni filling with the pureed butternut squash, as well as all over that crispy, crunchy topping. But don't worry, I didn't put nutritional yeast in any of the desserts, so you're not gonna find it in the tiramisu trifle. All you'll find there is amazing vanilla cake, chocolate mousse, coconut whip. Ugh. So yeah, I use a lot of coconut cream or coconut milk. If you can find cans of coconut cream, stock up on those. Leave them in the fridge because you want them to be cold when you use them, and that's how you get that fluffy coconut whip. And I do use that in the trifle, like I said, as well as on top of the pile of waffles. Just try to find cans of coconut cream, not coconut milk. Then you'll get less of the liquid water at the bottom and more of the thick cream, which is what you want. And jackfruit, that might be one that you have a little trouble finding. Again, if you live in Europe or something like that. I don't know product availability all around the world. I just know what's readily available to me. And of course, jackfruit is getting real popular and trendy right now in vegan cooking, but also just in general. I have a pulled barbecue jackfruit sandwich in the book, which is super easy. And I also have a homemade barbecue sauce to go with that. And I'd like to reveal to you one of my favorite, most top secret recipes in the book. Check these babies out. The fried avocados with jackfruit. So I beer braised that jackfruit, added some lime juice, some garlic, some red pepper flakes, vegan Worcestershire, red bell pepper, and pineapple to make kind of like a tropical tasting meaty filling. And then I deep fried halved avocados. That's right, people. That's why I'm hot for food. And I just think it looks so frickin' sexy. So yeah, there's some beer in this book. I do the beer braised jackfruit for those fried avocados, and I also make a filet o tempeh sandwich with deep fried beer battered tempeh fillets. Ugh, does that not look like it's from a certain fast food restaurant, but like obviously way better and not even the same thing at all? I don't even know why I said that. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, you're gonna need some vegetable oil for deep frying because there's a lot of deep fried stuff in here, although not all deep fried things. And in many cases where I do deep fry stuff, I tell you the alternative method for baking it, because I know that's what you're gonna ask. So vegetable oil, all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, pepper, all the usual stuff that you definitely already have whether you're vegan or not. So really, I'm not asking you to go out of your way and order all kinds of expensive, crazy things. The only thing might be the raw cashews. Yes, those are expensive, but they are very necessary in your vegan pantry. So get stocked and ready and locked and loaded to cook from Vegan Comfort Classics, 101 recipes to feed your face. It comes out next week, February 27th, 2018. Go pre-order it now. It's better to pre-order it. Helps me, helps you. You'll get a free bonus ebook of even more recipes if you go claim your ebook after you pre-order. You just type in your confirmation number into the form that I've linked below and you get a direct download. So save that PDF to your computer, to your iPad, to your phone, to your tablet, print it, whatever, and get cooking right now with some of my newest and favorite recipes. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Hot for Food Cookbook Pantry Ingredient Roundup. You are ready. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for all the love and support. And make sure you're here and subscribed because every Wednesday I post new content, mostly recipes, although I will not lie to you, the next few weeks I am like busy with press for this cookbook. I'm hitting the road for the Hot for Food book tour. And so there's just gonna be some like new content, but like mixed with old content and like whatever. You're still gonna like it, it's still gonna be entertaining, but just like give me a few weeks to like get through this whole promo business and then I'll be back and better than ever, cooking up vegan love. I think that's it. I think I gotta go. I think I got like a million appointments to go to. Bye.